Well, hello everybody. I get asked a lot what my favorite plugins are, and I always scramble to figure out that answer, but I went ahead and wrote all of them down, organized them, and we're going to go over my top favorite plugins, ones that I recommend you get. These will help make your music production journey a lot easier, and some are really cool. We also have some honorable mentions. Let's get straight into it. Look here, we have synthesizers, audio effects, mixing and mastering. We have these three groups here. The synthesizers are where we can actually make music. There's also some heavy sample libraries like Omnisphere and Kontakt. Audio effects, there's some free effects suites that will get you multiple effects for free with Kilohearts and Melda. So that's like an easy 20 free effects. Multipass Disperser, really good, and mixing and mastering, lots of amazing stuff here. GClips, Fab filters, all the Pro Ls, Pro Qs, imagers, loudness meters, Ozone mastering, and Soothe, a plugin for harsh frequencies, and then all these vocals like Autotune, Melodyne, Little Alterboy, and some honorable mentions like Vital, free. If you don't have Serum, you can get Vital, which is great. Sylenth, Spire, and Massive. Some OG synths with huge libraries, lots of good sounds too. And then even these like different phasers, saturators, this like Rift, Echobode, Decapitator, and our sidechain plugins, Duck, Shaperbox, Kickstart, Duck Buddy. There's a lot. We're going to go ahead and check out the synths first. Omnisphere is my favorite because it is stacked with so many different effects. Unfortunately, this is the most expensive. It's like $500. And I bought this back in audio school. And I was like, am I really about to spend $500 on this? And I've had it for so long. I was back in 2017 audio school. So, I've been using it so much ever since. And it's one of my main tools. It's full. So like, let's go ahead and test out some sounds. We got some bells here. Very nice layered sounds. Cool keyboards. Lots of nice Rhodes, just so many pads. I use these a lot for pads too. And then like short synths, these plucks are dangerous. You know? So many sounds. And I could just randomly pick, I never have to really stress. I could just run through stuff and flow, It's a really good flow tool. These textures, just background effects, lots of textures, soundscapes, and then I use Omnisphere a whole lot for these human voices. So many different E's, O's, O's, full choirs. It's just one of my favorite plugins of all time. I recommend it. It's amazing. It's just so stacked. We got guitars. We barely even looked at any of this. Very fun, very fun. Then I need Kontakt usually, which is the next plugin. This is for my real instruments, like all the brass section, all the stringed instruments, harps, flutes, clarinets, bassoons, like all those instruments. And I want to be able to have access to all of those because I use them often and we layer them in different ways and make unique stuff with it. But here's one of my favorites, the harp. I love the harp. We got a sitar. You already know what I'm saying. We got many things. Clarinets. By the way, this is like an older Kontakt. I have Kontakt 7. There may be a newer one. Main thing I use here, brass. In the brass section, we have these brass ensembles, trumpet ensembles, trombone ensembles, and you can stack these and layer octaves really easily to get some fat sounds. It's really cool. And you'll see down here, it tells you what octaves you can play. Whip out that tuba. You can go low. It's very awesome to have all these real instruments ready to go. There's even some soundscapes and textures and vocals similar to Omnisphere. That's really good. That one's more affordable. I recommend Kontakt heavily. The Reason rack is really good too. If you're trying to make, you know, some trenchy rhythm, you can really use the Reason rack. We used Maelstrom, so you can basically load up all kinds of different things. It's powerful. I can show you actually preset. So this is a synth within the Reason rack. Reason's a DAW. We're using the synths in Ableton. Then we can add effects like reverb and phasers, choruses, and add distortion, EQs. And you can make something really cool. These are the oscillators here. We're using the square. And there's just new wavetables, different wavetables that you can use in Reason 2. And this is really big for rhythm, you know? And it's awesome to have that. There is the free synth, which is Vital. And if for some reason you can't afford any of these paid plugins, you can get Vital and have access to wavetables, and you can start making sounds. You know, as soon as you want, you can change. You have wavetables to go through. And all you need is some drums, you know, so you can get started quickly with some good plugins right away. Serum 2, though, is my pride and joy. The synth is very powerful. Lots of new banks in the factory. We have access to basically samples going into the oscillator. So we can make almost anything now with Serum 2. And I think you guys should for sure get Serum 2. Super cool. And of course, Serum is it's just easy to make your own sounds in this. It's very user-friendly. That is one of the obvious sense. I use that in everything, you know, constantly. These audio effects, like the Kilohearts suite, is really important. There's so many amazing plugins, like look, reverb, resonator, pitch shifter, limiter, Haas, gate, frequency shifter, formant filter. It's just constant effects that you can use. And it makes it so easy, and it's free, so you just have to get this, you know, free plugin bundle, easy. Then there's also the Melda, which are all these M's, like M frequency shifter. Crazy, free, easy plugins that you can use, and it's just making life fun today. Got that flanger. Easy, so get all those free plugins. You're gonna need them. It's gonna help you a lot. Whenever you're making heavier music, Multipass is really good too. It can be used for anything. Let's say we have our Serum playing, our vocal. We can add Multipass. It can affect different frequency spectrums with different effects. So you can just only add a frequency shifter in these frequencies, for example, the lows. Let's go to the mids. We can only add distortion to the mids, for example. So you can really make these cool layers and cool post-processing chains that can help sound design create amazing things, amazing growls. Multipass is very useful, and I recommend it a lot. Disperser is also very good too. This will help a lot. It's like a sick phaser filter that can make it sound lasery, you know, gives it a really cool, unique texture. I'll throw this on guns, throw this on big bass layer stacks so that they can get a little bit beefier in the low end, and it just sounds really unique, very cool. I recommend Disperser as well. Very fun and get creative with it. Now, next are really important things, mixing and mastering. We're going to record something real quick. That's fine. I'm going to put this on grid and I'm going to call it a day. And then we're going to start adding some mixing and mastering plugins to this piece here. One of the best things ever is Pro L. You can see there's some headroom available here, some space. We can use the Fab filter to turn it up. Pro L will be a limiter, so it will make sure nothing goes past 0, but it also can be used to push this gain, turn things up. Just absolutely super clean. You can get a Pro Q and be like, you know what? I'm trying to get some cleanliness and measure some frequencies. Look down here, see my notes that are hovering? This is amazing. Makes it so easy to go note to frequency. As I hover, you see it starts to analyze the frequency, so much data that we can use for our tracks. Once you start to understand the frequency spectrum, lows, mids, highs, all of this becomes very valuable. Really, really good plugin, ProQ. The Imager is free by Ozone. It's a free, like, separate thing that you can get, and I recommend you get it if you don't have full Ozone. This measures the stereo width. It shows us how wide or mono something is, and it's a critical tool for our mixing and mastering arsenal. Super awesome. Ozone itself is a paid plugin. It's a suite, a mixing and mastering suite, basically. And the Imager I just showed you is just a little part of it. So these are the effects here, the Imagers right here. I can also separate each band and change the width of each band as well, which is amazing. There's EQ, exciter, maximizer, limiter, dynamics. We can use all these too. I usually just use the EQ, the Imager, and that's it. I used to use these more, but I try to make the mix sound. I try to make the Ozone not work too much towards the end, so I use it minimally. Next, the Swiss Army meter or the Youlean. Obviously, we need to measure loudness with LUFS so it can be very accurate, and Youlean is free, which is this one. Swiss Army meter is a paid Max for Live device that you should get. It's like $7. Super easy. Swiss Army meter. Search for that. So you see we're getting our LUFS, measuring. Once you know your LUFS, you'll know exactly how loud things should be, how loud some sections should be, and things like that. So you already know what it is. One of my favorite plugins of all time right now is Soothe, and it automatically reduces harsh frequencies. Look, you can visually see what's about to happen here. Right here. Once I get a bass that's like crazy and I start turning it up, it gets harsh, and I just whip out the Soothe and it does all the EQing for me, and it's one of the best things ever. I just adjust this depth knob. Right now 3 is kind of a lot. I can even go less or I can go more. So that's amazing. Soothe, beautiful. Whenever you're working with vocals, it's real important that you have some tools. So we're gonna get a phrase. Ashes falling down. Put it in. I wrote these chords in D minor, so I'm just gonna put him in D minor. He's in A right now. So I'm gonna go down to G sharp, then to G, then to F sharp, and then to F, E, D sharp, D. Ashes falling down. Nice. So that's in pitch. We're going to just use it soloed. Ashes falling down. And I use Waves Tune for my Autotune, mono, and this will do pitch correction. But sometimes the vocalist will be more than a semitone off when they're singing a note, and that's when we'll use Melodyne. This Autotune Ashes falling down is real helpful, a really good tool that you'll need in your arsenal, especially when you start recording vocalists. And Melodyne will analyze this, and you can use Melodyne for bass lines, melodies. This is one of my favorite tools in the whole world. It transfer, play the actual vocal. Ashes falling down. Melodyne will do its magic. It'll analyze the notes and it'll tell us what notes they're actually playing. This helps us so much in our production. And then of course, Melodyne will let you move the note. So if they sing a wrong note, you can just move it up. Makes life super easy. Melodyne is goated, undoubtedly. It's just crazy. Little Alterboy is sick because we can like shift formants and shift pitch with these two knobs.
Ashes fall, ashes fall, ashes, ashes falling, ashes falling, ashes fall, ashes falling, ashes, ashes falling, ashes falling.
So many different ways that you can do this, and it's really good. You know, I learned this from Ray Volpe. He makes vocal leads with this, so you can do anything with it. Very, very fire. We did some honorable mentions. Vital, which I showed you. There's also Sylenth, which is another plugin that's really good. Has oscillators, a good sample library. It's more of an old school plugin. There's Spire also. Same thing, you know, oscillators, sample libraries. I really use Serum. Serum's my main one, so I don't really use these as much. And then Massive, even the old faithful. This was the main one before Serum. So you can always use these two and get different sounds, get different libraries, and mess with different techniques in these. So you can get very creative, try to find your own sound. We got Rift 2 in an honorable mention. This is like a really good saturation plugin, and it does more than just saturation. It can shape the waves. You have a lot of different presets here where you can just experiment and make all kinds of random new sounds, which is very fun. Echobode is, you know, phaser, LFO, frequency shifter, and another thing that you can just use to make all kinds of new random sounds, get experimental and creative. And then Decapitator is another one. I don't have it right now. Decapitator is really good too. And then lastly, these sidechains. It's like Shaperbox is a really good sidechain. If you don't want to use Ableton's sidechain, or if you're on another DAW, Shaperbox is really good. There's a Duck, which a lot of my students have been using. Duck is really good. Kickstart is good. LFO tool can work too. You can route signal to these sidechains and kind of make any of them work. I never have an issue with any of these sidechains, so I kind of just use them at random, and yeah, no stress, makes it easy. These are my favorite plugins. These will help you make music, and some of them are pricey. I understand. Some of them are free. Get those. Use what you can and keep on trying to innovate with the tools that you have in front of you. If you guys have any questions, just hit me up. Write in the comments what kind of videos you want to see next. I will be knocking out all the video requests, so keep it up. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.